सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। भगवद गीता द 15th chapter। श्री भगवान उवाच ऊर्ध्वमूलम् अधः शाखम् अश्वत्थं प्राहुरव्ययं छन्दांसि यस्य पर्णानि यस्तं वेद स वेदवित्। So Shri Krishna said, the Lord said, urdhva moolam, moolam root, urdhvam above. So one that is rooted above. Usually tree has its root below, under the soil. But here is the vision or the concept of a tree which has got the root above. It's an upturned tree. Adha shakham. Why is the root above? Because the source of all life, the source of this universe, the source of everything and the ultimate reality or the ultimate principle is above. Adha shakham, and branches are below. Avyayam, and it is eternal. Ashwatham. Ashwatham means, Shwatha means that which will be there in Shwa, which will be there. Shwa means tomorrow. That which will be there, Shwa, is called Shwatha. That which will be Shwatha. That which will be not there tomorrow is called Ashwatha. So Ashwatha means that which will not be there tomorrow, which is not real, unreal, which is not permanent, impermanent. Prahuhu, they speak of. Chandansi, the Vedas, yasya parnani, whose parnani, leaves. So this eternal Ashwatha here is a name for the sansara, this ever changing phenomenal world. So sansara, which is continuously changing, which will not endure till tomorrow, that Ashwatha, and which is Chandamsi, the Vedas are yasya parnani. So this universe, its leaves are Vedas. Why? Because Vedas support this universe by telling what is right and what is not right, dharma and adharma. So giving the knowledge of dharma and giving the knowledge of adharma, Vedas support this world. And the root is Brahman, unmanifested Brahman, and from there comes Brahman. And when Maya or ignorance or avidya, ajnana comes, then this whole sansara is made. So that is why Brahman is at the top, because it is not the root, not just the root, it is also superior, the supreme thing. And from there Maya, ajnana, avidya, all this comes. And then because of Maya, ajnana, avidya, this Brahman gives rise to this universe. So Mahat, Ahankara, Tanmatra, Gunas, all these are produced. And so then from there we get to know what is true, what is not true from the Vedas. And Yaha Tam, it, Yaha, who Veda knows, Saha, that person, Vedavid, is the knower of Vedas. So a person who knows an eternal Ashwatha. So Ashwatha is also the name of a tree. Ashwatha tree. Now there is a pun on this word here. Ashwatha is the name of the tree, but here it means a tree which is changing, a tree which will not stay till tomorrow, changing. So this Ashwatha tree, it is having root above and branches below, and the leaves are the Vedas, and a person who knows this knows Vedas. And eternal. Why is this tree, though it is not going to stay till tomorrow, called eternal? It has got an end, but only when you get the knowledge that you are identical with Brahman. Only then it has got an end, not before that. And so, this tree of samsara, this is based on a continuous series of birth and death without a beginning and end. Seemingly, there is no end. But this ends when you get a knowledge of your identity with Brahman or the ultimate principle. Then this tree is further explained by Sri Krishna. He says, Adharscha urdhvam prasritas tasya shakhaha guna pravruddha vishaya pravalaha adharscha mulan yanusantatani karmanu bandhini manushya loke. Tasya, its guna pravruddhaha, nourished or increased by gunas. Vishaya pravalaha, sense objects are pravala, buds. Shakhaha, branches. Adhaha, below. Urdhvam, above. Cha, and prasritaha, spread. Manushya loke, in the world of man or in the world of human beings. Karmanu bandhini, originating action. Mulani, the roots. Adaha, below. Cha, and anusantatani, are stretched forth. So, Vishaya pravalaha, sense objects are the buds of this tree which is nourished by gunas. And shakhaha, branches. Adaha, below. Urdhvam, above. And prasrithaha, spread. Manushya loke, in the world of human beings. Karmanu bandhini, originating. Anubandhini, originating action, which create action. This world. Mulani, the roots. Adaha, below. Cha, and anusantatani, are stretched forth. So, below and above, adha cha urdhvam, are spread shakhaha, prasthitaha tasya shakha, shakhaha, branches. So, branches are spread below and above. And they are nourished by the gunas. And sense objects are its buds. That means they flower and then they give rise to new seeds. And below in the world, adhascha, mulan anusantatani, in the world of human beings, the roots are stretched, originating in action. So, below from human being downwards, above till Brahma, and roots, the main root is Brahman or God. That is why root is above. Urdhva Moolam. Root is above. And the secondary root are the samskaras, like attachment, aversion, samskaras. And then these samskaras, they become the cause for different deeds, good deeds and evil deeds. And these deeds further create new samskaras. So in a vicious cycle of cause and effect, one is bound to actions. bound to actions, dharma, adharma, bound to actions. So, now how to understand this tree? This tree is an imagery of the tree of life or tree of universe. Now, the tree of life or the tree of universe is an imagery which has been talked of in various pieces of literature, poetry, and also in various, even it has been depicted in various movies. So, also in various philosophies, the tree of life. So, like there is this expression, the web of life. The tree of life has different kinds of interpretations. But in the Bhagavad Gita, we find this tree to be upturned, and it is a interesting tree. It is an interesting tree because it is upturned, the root is above. So the idea is not only that the root sustains the tree, but that the primacy or the importance of the root is shown by putting it above. All the branches, leaves, and all the fruits and flowers are secondary, and it is the root which is of paramount importance. This kind of depiction is found in the Bhagavad Gita, and this is very important because essentially, just like Swami Vivekananda famously said, each soul is potentially divine, the goal is to manifest this divinity within. Now, this putting an emphasis on what is important here, not to understand the universe, but to understand the cause of the universe. If you understand the cause of the universe, then it does not matter whether you understand the universe in its details. So that is what is being emphasized here. I have told in previous talks also that there is a continuity between one verse of the Bhagavad Gita and the next verse. Even this continuity runs across chapters. So in the previous chapter, the last verse, Sri Krishna talked about how he is the abode of Brahman, how he is the substratum of Brahman. And that substratum, suppose somebody gets the idea that the substratum is below, immediately Sri Krishna talks about this imagery of an upturned tree, and the substratum becomes above. So, I am the substratum, or God is the substratum of everything that you conceive. So, substratum of Brahman means what? The idea of Brahman as conceived by human beings, as conceived by us, conceived by a human mind, abides in me. It is abiding in me. Because true reality is something which is beyond three gunas and therefore beyond the mind. So, this idea that the entire universe comes from roots which are above, and gunas also come from there, and all sense objects are nothing but buds, all these has been told by Sri Krishna to emphasize that the Brahman or the source of Brahman, God, is the ultimate reality. So, source of Brahman, it is a kind of way of expression. Brahman is the source of everything. There cannot be any source of Brahman. But because literally it is how it is written, Brahmano hi pratisthaham. So, we have to go by the text also. But at the same time, we have to understand that here there is a difference between the experiential aspect of Brahman and what is being told. Otherwise, we would not be able to understand the meaning, true meaning of this verse. So when God says Brahmano hi pratisthaham, Sri Ramakrishna also famously said that God is with form, without form, and many more things like that. So with form, without form we understand, but Sri Ramakrishna says that God cannot be just said that God is with form or without form, formless. God is much more than that, and you cannot put God, you cannot delineate God in a particular definition. You cannot pigeonhole God, so to say. He said, Tar iti tana jabena. That means you cannot specify that God is this. And so, God is the ultimate reality. Call it Brahman, call it Ishvara, call it whatever you might. God is ultimate reality, and that ultimate reality is the source of this tree, which has got so many branches, countless branches and countless flowers and countless fruits. And that tree is nothing but this tree of universe. And so, to know this universe in its essence, to essentially know this universe, one has to know God. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.